Hi, what's up everybody?
Yo!
Welcome to my channel and to my first video tutorial about DJing. In this video I'm gonna show a quick DJ tip for you out there to realize the best configuration, in my opinion, in Prodigy link between your CDJs 2000 Nexus and your DJM 900 Nexus mixer. But this is simply scalable to 4 CDJs if you need. I apologize with you in advance for the not professional environment and my not perfect English. Okay, here we go. What is and what can you do with a Prodigy link connection? Something very useful. Okay, you know that you can directly connect with a simple LAN cable to CDJs and share USB devices or SD cards from one CDJ to the other one. But with the Prodigy link you can share USB devices or SD cards not only with only one more CDJ, but with 4 CDJs if you want, and you can add even your PC or Mac or even 2 computers where the Pioneer Rekordbox software is installed, or your tablet or smartphone in Wi-Fi with Rekordbox installed as well, and listen to the preview of your library in Rekordbox from your mixer in your headphones pressing this Q button, all at the same time. And this is very useful. For example, you can load on your CDJs your songs more quickly and comfortably from the computer than using the knob to browse on the CDJs. Or you can hold all your library only in your PC and read directly on your CDJs thanks to the link with Rekordbox, without exporting in a lot of devices your music. And this is a function that a lot of people don't realize. If you're here, I'm sure you already know the Rekordbox software by Pioneer and that it is a free DJ software and application to prepare and manage your music for a DJ set, iTunes library included, directly free downloadable from the Pioneer web page. And if you want and you have pre-prepared your files on your PC or devices, you can hold all your music, loops and effects synchronized at the same VPN. Okay, now let's realize the Prodigy link connection that I prefer. Basically it's very simple, but make sure to follow the steps that I will show you to avoid any error, and think first about what you need and what are your preferences in the use of your music and equipment to avoid spending money unnecessarily. First of all, make sure to have the latest drivers and firmware updated in your machines. In my case, the last firmware is the 1.31 for the mixer and the 1.24 for the CDJs 2000 Nexus. Make sure to update even the driver for all. Make sure all is updated because this is very important to make the Prodigy link connection work. You can find firmwares and drivers for free on the Pioneer site. Don't worry, I will leave all these links and some Pioneer official guides for you in the description, with all the procedures according to your specific operating system. To update the firmware on your CDJs, you simply have to put the firmware program on a USB pen drive. And meanwhile you are pressing both the USB and reloop exit buttons, turn on the power on your CDJ with no cables or devices connected. In this way the utility screen will be displayed. Insert the USB pen drive containing the firmware file and the update procedure will start. Then turn the power off. To update the firmware of the mixer, it's a little bit different. Download and unzip the firmware file on your computer. Connect a LAN cable to the LAN socket on the back of the mixer. Then turn on the power while holding the Q and on-off buttons of the Beats FX side of the mixer. The update mode is ready. Now disconnect internet and connect the LAN cable to the LAN port of the PC. I'm using Windows 10, but it is a similar procedure with other operating systems. Note that you will find undefined network for your LAN connection, but don't worry, it's normal and all works the same. Now disable your firewall. That's really important. Go in Network Settings and click Ethernet. Change adapter options. Right-click on Ethernet and select Properties. Check to have selected in Properties of your TCP IPv4 to obtain IP and DNS address automatically. Do likewise with the TCP IPv6. This is really important for a correct operation of your Prodigy link. Now double-click on the firmware file on your computer and follow the process. When the update process is complete, a success message will appear on your mixer display. Restart the mixer. More details and complete procedures in the links I will leave in the description. If you already have your hardware and drivers updated, you have only to disable the firewall and check to have the TCP IPv4 and TCP IPv6 both on obtain IP address automatically and obtain DNS server address automatically. Okay, now to connect your Pioneer Cdjs 2000 Nexus and your DJM 900 Nexus mixer in Prodigy link, all you need is not love, but a switch or a router, and it depends on your preferences. If you have a Pioneer DJM 2000 Nexus, you're immediately ready to go. You don't need anything else. But if you have a 900 Nexus like this, that hey, it's always a top mixer, first of all you need to buy a switch or a router with an internal switch. Make sure that you have a switch, because a switch is able to send the information data selectively where they are required. But today are all switches, I think. We have to realize a LAN Ethernet network, and the DJM 2000 Nexus already has an internal switch, and it allows to connect up to 4 CDJs and 2 computers, but it is larger and costs obviously more. The connection between computers or smartphone or tablet and CDJs and mixer can be of 2 different types, wireless or wired. So now it's really important that you decide if you exclude the possibility of wireless connection or not, and that you understand how many devices you need to connect in Prodigy link. If you want a wireless connection, you need a router, not necessarily a modem router, that is generally more expensive and more bulky than a simple LAN wired switch. If you want a wired connection, a simple switch is enough, and you have to decide how many devices connect. For example, if you want to connect 4 CDJs, mixer, 1 or 2 computers, you have to buy a 8 ports switch. If you want to connect only 2 CDJs, a computer and mixer, a simple 5 ports is enough. More ports, more cost. In my case, I wanted all my equipment in my flight case, connect only 1 computer with the LAN cable, because I think it's more reliable, and only 2 CDJs. And I chose a wired connection and a simple 5-port switch like this, $20. And personally, I prefer eventually then extend if I want the network with a router connected to the switch, and add in this way the Wi-Fi connectivity. but basically I almost always use the wired connection. My advice is to buy directly a Wi-Fi router if you want a Wi-Fi connectivity. Okay, now we also need RJ45 Ethernet LAN cables, 4 in my case, 1 for the mixer, 2 for the CDJs and 1 for the computer. And I chose Gigabit 5E category double electromagnetically shielded cables because they are very fast and reliable in my flat case full of devices and cables that might interfere. This switch is a gigabit switch that is very fast, but you can use even a slower one without problems. Fast Ethernet, for example. If you wanna connect 2 CDJs more, you simply need a switch with 2 more ports. An 8 ports switch, for example, as I said, but that is more expensive. 2 ports of my switch are for the CDJs. 1 port is for the computer. Another 1 port is for the mixer, to use the mixer as monitor for the songs I play in preview on Rekordbox. And if we want, the last one is for the Wi-Fi router that we will add after. Once you have decided what is the best configuration for you before connecting any cable, we have to set our players for the link. We suppose we want to connect 2 CDJs, the mixer and 1 computer with Rekordbox installed, with a wired connection as I said. That is my favorite setting. And then we will connect even a router to the switch for the Wi-Fi connectivity. Whatever is the configuration that you prefer, the procedure is similar. So, with no devices and cables connected to your player, turn on the power. Press the menu utility button for over 1 second to open the utility screen. Then turn the knob clockwise and set the player number for your CDJ from 1 to 4 according to the channel number on the mixer. Set the second player in the same way. In my case, I chose the number 2 for the player on the left and the number 3 for the player on the right. If you wanna connect 2 CDJs more, simply repeat the same operation on each player, setting the corresponding number of the mixer channel. Now turn all your players off and connect the LAN sockets of mixer and players to the switch ports as I said before. Turn on your CDJs and pay attention to the number on the CDJ screen. It must be the same of the mixer channel and lit in white and not in grey. Okay, now before connecting even the computer, note that if I put a USB memory device in the first CDJ with a test Rekordbox playlist inside called Playlist 1, I can load this playlist even on the other CDJ, and vice versa. Similarly, if I put a USB on the player 2 with a playlist called Playlist 2. And I can do the same with an SD card with a third playlist called playlist 3. Close or the SD doesn't work. So I can share all the devices from a CDJ to another one and vice versa. Note that now with the link active, when we turn up the volume fader of the mixer, the jog wheel of the CDJ became red instead of white. Now we connect the computer to, with Rekordbox installed, to the switch with a wired LAN connection. Check that your antivirus firewall is disabled. This is fundamental. Connect the switch and computer with the LAN cable. And note that your LAN network is unidentified or limited, but it is normal. Now open Rekordbox on your computer. When appears, press the link button down on the left. When Rekordbox is linked, two CDJs and a mixer appear in the lower side of the program. If you want to use the mixer monitor function, make sure you have enabled in Properties, Audio, use link monitor of the Pioneer DJ mixer. Now, thanks to the link, we can load on the CDJ 1 or 2 the songs we want that we have pre-analyzed in Rekordbox directly from the program, dragging the song on the corresponding CDJ. Note that when computer and CDJ are linked, the Rekordbox LED is on. Also note that when a song is in play, the color is green, when in pause in orange. If we prefer, we can also load a playlist or a song in the Rekordbox collection on the computer from our players. Here we have, for example, all the playlists created on our Rekordbox. Clicking the tracks on Rekordbox, you have the preview of your songs on the computer. With the Mixer Rekordbox preview function, we can listen to the tracks we are clicking in Rekordbox directly from the headphones. Now, if you want to add the wireless functionality, take a router. With the switch turned off, connect it using a LAN cable to any port of the router. Now turn on the switch. Turn on the mixer. Turn on the first CDJ. turn on the second CDJ. Now open Rekordbox and connect the computer in Wi-Fi to the router, inserting the password if you need. Remember that the firewall must be disabled. Note that the network is still limited, but this is normal, and that the link button appears. Click it and Rekordbox says that you have to enable the connection on your CDJ. So press the Rekordbox button on the CDJ and press the knob on the name of your computer. Now you are in Wi-Fi into your computer and you can load your playlists from the CDJ. Or you can load a track on the CDJs, dragging it in Rekordbox on your computer, all in Wi-Fi. Okay, now we are going to connect in Wi-Fi even our smartphone or tablet with the Rekordbox for Android or iOS application installed. So connect the phone to the Wi-Fi router, inserting the password if you need. Open the Rekordbox app. I have only one test song in my phone Rekordbox library. And click load. OK. Now we have to enable from the CDJ the connection with the phone, like for the computer. Press the Rekordbox button on the CDJ, then press the knob on the name of your device, and now you are into the Rekordbox phone application collection, and you can load on the CDJ a song or a playlist from the phone. Or you can upload a song on the CDJs, clicking the song, and then down the corresponding CDJ, one or two, where you want to load the song. When in play the CDJ is green, when in pause in orange. Now they are both in green. If this error message appears on the CDJ, whether that you have a wired or a wireless connection, it means that you haven't disabled your firewall. When you disable the firewall, all works perfectly. If you have any connection problem between computer and Wi-Fi router, try to reset the router and insert in the command prompt these commands: ipconfig all to check all the connection parameters and see if there is something strange, ipconfig release and ipconfig renew to ask to give a new automatic IP address, or even ipconfig flush DNS to reset the DNS client cache. Okay folks, thanks for watching. I hope this video will be useful for you. Enjoy the Prodigy link, check the playlists on my channel, and see ya!